glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit simple activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruity activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inanimate while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining the Bhakti Sanga Conference call today. Let us move to our next section, which is Srimad Bhagatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण राधा प्यारी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी नमस्कार हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashmati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas, praying for your cousin Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. What happened to your voice, Mataji?
Sometimes when I chant in the morning, right, Mataji, I keep chanting, so suddenly my voice won't come. If I talk anything other than Hare Krishna, my voice won't come. But if I say Hare Krishna, my voice comes.
Very nice to hear, Mataji. Harival. Yeah, your voice will come soonly, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Radha Mataji, pranam to you and pranam to all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. My Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Param Pavani Shama Devidasi from Baltimore, Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Anybody else would like to introduce yourselves? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Akinchana Krishna Prabhuji to enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagatam 7th Canto 9th chapter verse 10 onwards. First, I would like to hand over call to Ayan Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all Srila Prabhupada. I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Here is a brief introduction for our dear speaker, His Grace Akinchana Krishna Das. Prabhuji hails from Mumbai and he is dedicated to full-time monastic services Brahmacharya in Iskcon from the year 1999. He worked in the industry for 2 years in Blue Star Limited and PC Soft Pvt.ltd after completing his graduation in electronics and telecom engineering and post-graduation in business management. Later, after joining Iskcon, Prabhuji served as value educator in schools, Gita for college youth, and he also gives seminars for corporate young professionals on stress and time management, Gita principles for a satisfying life, and motivational seminars for the youth in Iskcon Chowpatty's Prerana Youth Festival. Prabhuji is a regular Srimad Bhagavatam speaker in Iskcon Chowpatty. Prabhuji has been giving spiritual discourses for devotee communities in Panvel, Kharghar, and Sea Woods, South Mumbai. Prabhuji also organizes 2-month spiritual trips and talks for the British sabbatical youth from the Bhakti Vedanta manor every year. Here was a brief introduction for Prabhuji. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Nice introduction. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I would like to hand over call to Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you have to unmute.
Yeah, we can't hear Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we can hear Prabhuji. Thanks.
So, we will have to start with Kirtan, right? So we will have 5 minutes Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhav.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Is my voice clear? Is my voice audible to you?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, thank you for having me, for rendering this service of speaking on Srimad Bhagatam to all of you wonderful devotees. So, I was requested to speak on the 7th canto, chapter 9, text number 10. So, should I? Okay, I think I will share the screen. Hope you all
Oh,
can see.
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. विप्राद्विषड्गुणयुतादरविन्दनाभ पादारविन्दविमुखात् स्वपचं वरिष्ठम् मन्ये तदर्पितमनोवचने हितार्थ प्राणं पुनाति सकुलं न तु भूरिमानः। विप्राद्विषड्गुणयुतादरविन्दनाभ पादारविन्दविमुखात् स्वपचं वरिष्ठम् मन्ये तदर्पितमनोवचने हितार्थ प्राणं पुनाति सकुलं न तु भूरिमानः। विप्राद्विषड्गुणयुतादरविन्दनाभ पादारविन्दविमुखात् स्वपचं वरिष्ठम् मन्ये तदर्पितमनोवचने हितार्थ प्राणं पुनाति सकुलं न तु भूरिमानः। So Viprat, than a Brahmin, Dvishad Gunayutat, qualified with 12 Brahminical qualities. Aravindanabha, Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus growing from his navel. Pada Aravind, to the lotus feet of the Lord. Vimukhat, not interested in devotional service. Shwapacham, one born in a low family or a dog eater. Varishtham, more glorious. Manye, I consider. Tad arpita, surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Manaha, his mind. Vachana, words. Ihita, every endeavor. Artha, wealth. Pranam, and life. Punati, purifies. Saha, he, the devotee. Kulam, his family. No, not two, but Bhurimanaha, one who falsely thinks himself to be in a prestigious position. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If a Brahmin has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in the book called Sanat Sujata, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmin because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmin in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. Purport. Here is a statement by Prahlad Maharaj, one of the 12 authorities, regarding the distinction between a devotee and a Brahmin expert in Karmakanda or Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. There are 4 varnas and 4 ashrams which divide human society, but the central principle is to become a first-class pure devotee. It is said in the Hari Bhakti Sudhoday, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jatish Shastram Japastapah Apranasya Iva Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. If one is born in a high family like that of a Brahmin, Kshatriya or Vaishya, but is not a devotee of the Lord, all his good qualifications as a Brahmin, Kshatriya or Vaishya are null and void. Indeed, they are considered decorations of a dead body. In this verse, Prahlad Maharaj speaks of the Vipras, the learned Brahmins. The learned Brahmana is considered best among the divisions of Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. But a devotee born in a low Chandal family is better than such a Brahmin, not to speak of the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and others. A devotee is better than anyone, for he is in the transcendental position of the Brahman platform. Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatithyaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahmin. The 12 qualities of a first-class Brahmin is stated in the book called Sanat Sujat are as follows. Jnanam cha satyam cha damashrutam cha yamat saryam rish titikshana Yagyascha danam cha dritish shamascha mahavrata dvadasha brahmanasya. The European and American devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement are sometimes called or accepted as Brahmins, but the so-called caste Brahmins are very much envious of them. In answer to such envy, Prahlad Maharaj says that one who has been born in a Brahmin family but is falsely proud of his prestigious position cannot even purify himself, not to speak of his family. Whereas if a Chandal, a low-born person, is a devotee and has fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord, he can purify his entire family. We have had actual experience of how Americans and Europeans, because of their full Krishna consciousness, have purified their whole families. So much so that a mother of a devotee at the time of her death inquired about Krishna with her last breath. Therefore, it is theoretically true and has been practically proven that a devotee can give the best service to his family, his community, his society, and his nation. The foolish accuse a devotee of following the principle of escapism, but actually the fact is that a devotee is the right person to elevate his family. A devotee engages everything in the service of the Lord, and therefore he is always exalted. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, these words are words spoken by Prahlad in his prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. And when we read these verses, we can understand that our Vedic society was free from the problems of caste system and the deterioration or the bad name that the people practicing Vedic culture have received due to the caste system is unfounded, not substantiated, by the Vedas. As we can see, it is very clear as daylight that a person is not accepted a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra simply based on his birth. That's one thing. And secondly, even if a person is born in a particular family of a Brahmin or whatever, Kshatriya, but if he is not a devotee, then he is not considered very superior. Yes, so therefore, here in this verse, it is explained that a devotee is superior to a Brahmin who has all the Brahminical qualifications. So here what we are speaking about is not someone who is simply born in a Brahmin family, but actually who is having the qualities of a Brahmin, who's actually engaged in the profession of a Brahmin. Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, they are professions. The society has been divided based on the nature and based on the profession that a person is engaged in. And the Brahmin is considered to be the purest. The profession is sattvic, and therefore he is given a lot of respect as compared to others engaged in the warrior profession or the business or for that matter menial services. But still, if it is quite possible that Brahmins are or do not become devotees of Krishna. It is not necessary that a Brahmin, even though situated in the mode of goodness, may still remain an atheist or materialistic person. It is quite possible. Yes. So, and we can see that example in the scriptures where Ravan, for that matter, who was born in a Brahmin family, amongst Brahmins also, he was in Paulastya Kul. He was born in amongst Brahmins also, he was a very high class Brahmin. But he did not, it was not a devotee of Lord Vishnu. He did not, or maybe he accepted Vishnu as God, but he did not believe that Lord Ram was Vishnu. So we can see such examples. People born in Brahmin families, they refrain from becoming Vaishnavas. And in fact, there are cases of Brahmins who have actually tormented and persecuted the devotees who have who are not born in a Brahmin family, but who are devotees. For example, the Gopal Chapal in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear about it, the episode when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in the initial days of his inaugurating the Krishna consciousness movement, and he was restricting the Sankirtan only to his devotees. Only his closed group of devotees would come together in the house of Srivas Thakur, and they would do Sankirtan. So because it was a closed group and not everyone was invited, those who didn't get invited or got left out, they started feeling envious and jealous. And one such a person was Gopal Chapal. He was a Brahmin by birth, and he used to speak a lot. He was very talkative, and he was very offensive and an atheist also. So because he was feeling very envious and he wanted to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dance and he wanted to participate, he didn't want to be left out. But because he was not allowed, he started blaspheming Srivas Thakur and criticizing all the devotees, including Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and alleging that these people are, engaging in illicit activities. They call themselves devotees of Krishna or Vishnu, but actually they are simply demigod worshippers who are engaging in tantric worship all throughout the night. And he brought even all the articles which are used for worshipping Kali. He brought them and placed them outside the door of Srivas in order to make him look bad, in order to make or convince others that, look, this is what they are. See, this is, they're worshipping Kali that way. And then we know that Mahaprabhu, he was very upset with him. And within 3 days, this Gopal Chapal, he got leprosy. He was affected with leprosy, infected, and worms and bacteria and all kinds of insects were tormenting him, and he was suffering intensely. And he went to Mahaprabhu and requested him, prayed to him that they say that you are the incarnation of the Lord and you are most merciful, and please shower your causeless mercy upon me also. And Mahaprabhu chastised him and he said that, no, you will have to suffer like this for millions and millions of years. I will not forgive you because I have incarnated to kill all the demons and to protect my devotees. Mahaprabhu actually said that. But eventually he was forgiven. He begged forgiveness from Srivas Thakur. He was forgiven. So the point is that there are examples. There are many cases of people who are born in Brahmin families, Is my voice audible to you?
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
It's raining very heavily. I can't hear myself actually. Hold on. Okay, is my voice audible to you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. So this Srivas Thakur is one such example where a Brahmin actually tormented the devotees. And
we can see other examples that Prabhupada has given, that how when he started the Krishna consciousness movement, there was a lot of opposition. And Prabhupada was even criticized for making these lechas and yavanas into Brahmins and giving them sannyas, and they criticized him for ruining Vedic culture, because they didn't believe that someone not born in a Hindu family could become a Hindu. What to speak of becoming a Brahmin? Before Iskcon, at least I had not heard of anyone becoming a Hindu. Those who were not Hindus, those who were not born in this culture. Whereas we see in other traditions like Christianity or Islam, we see that there are people from who are Christians who become Muslims, and who are Muslims who become Christians, and people from other religions, they were accepted into their own religion. But as far as Hinduism is concerned, I had not heard. It was very rare occurrence to find someone like a foreigner becoming a devotee. So, but it was Prabhupada who actually demonstrated by preaching in the West, giving sannyas and making devotees. Well, actually, it was not initiated by Prabhupada. You can see that even before him, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who gave Brahmin initiation even to the Shudras, and it is said that when he was going along with his devotees on a parikrama, yes, and all the Brahmins, caste Brahmins, they had made a huge gathering to oppose that, and they started throwing stones and things like that. And they have become quite violent, actually. So that is the belief that, or at least the practice, that someone born a Brahmin or born a Hindu is only a Hindu. And in fact, I was in Kanchipuram. I think I've shared this with you, along with some boys from the United Kingdom who had come for a sabbatical. And I was sitting down, and one South Indian Brahmin who's connected to the Kanchipuram temple, he came to us and started inquiring where are we from. And so we introduced ourselves, and I asked him what was he doing, and he said he's doing some PhD in the Yajurveda, and so he was basically reciting the Yajurveda regularly. So obviously he was a Vedic scholar. So I thought it was interesting that I could ask him some questions, about what they think about these concepts. So I asked him a few questions like, what is the goal of the Vedas? Is it true that the Brahmins also ate meat in the past, in the previous yugas? And can a person not born a Hindu or not born a Brahmin become a Brahmin? So these were some of the questions that I had asked. And so he said regarding that being born a Brahmin, and if someone can become a Brahmin, he said it will take 300 lives for a person who's a Shudra to become a Brahmin. Yeah, that's what he said, yeah. So that was his belief, and probably it is true also in the Vedas. They may have his sources, which say that generally it takes that much time, but there are exceptions also to that rule that they are not aware of. And I asked him whether Brahmins ate meat in the previous ages, and he said, yes, they did eat meat in the past. That's what he said, and which is true actually, because there are instances in the Vedas, references which I'm aware of also. And regarding the question, what is the goal of the Vedas? He said, Gayatri. So Gayatri is the essence of the Vedas, which is in a way also true. But again, it's not so much Vaishnav-like. And there Krishna says, Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu. And it is me who is to be worshipped, because I am Gayatri, I am Omkar, I am the knower of the Vedas, I am to be known, and all those things. So it is generally the belief or a general practice that someone who is born a Brahmin is a Brahmin. And that's it, But you see here, we can read from these verses where Prahlad Maharaj himself says that through devotional service, yes, by meeting with devotees, a person can actually rise even above being a Brahmin. That is possible. That is possible. And here is the proof. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, and Prahlad Maharaj himself is an example, because he is a demon. He's born in a demon family, and the Lord, Supreme Lord, has appeared just for him. What greater proof is needed, for that he himself was a demon, or at least born in a demon family. So we can see there are so many such examples of Rishabhadev, his children. He had 100 children. Out of them, 9 became Paramhamsas. They became preachers, Bhagavad preachers. Yes. And then 81 of them became Brahmins. Yeah. And 10 of them became Kshatriyas. So here is the example that even though Rishabhadev was a Kshatriya, but his sons, they took up different professions. Yeah. So they became Paramhamsas, they became Brahmins, they became Kshatriyas. So it is possible. It is possible, and that was the ancient practice, that a person was known by his qualities. That is the real test of someone, is that he's known by his qualities. And there is a verse in the Bhagavatam that says that Yatra Yalakshanam Proktam Pumso Varna Bhiyanjakam Yad Anyatra Pidrisheta Tatteneva Vinardishet. That Yatra Yalakshanam Proktam. That when a person starts showing symptoms of a Brahmin, yeah, when he has a symptom of a Brahmin, then he is to be accepted as a Brahmin. If he has the qualities of a Kshatriya, then he should be accepted as such, based on one's qualities. So here we can see that it is possible that one can be trained to be a Brahmin, one can be trained to be a Kshatriya. That's very practical also, and we can see in the society people from all walks of life, they join the army, or they become teachers, or people are trained to become businessmen. So that kind of training inspires them to take up a particular profession, and people accept a training based on their interests, and interests are based on their natures. So Krishna says it in the Gita that Chatur Varane Maya Shrishtam. that I have divided, that I have created this 4 Varnas. And it is very natural. It is not that Krishna, it's not artificial. It is just the way how people are. And even if you don't have to label people as such, they just manifest their qualities naturally. People take up their place in the society naturally. Like if you take a tumbler and you put water, sand, and rock, and so the water will take its place, the pebbles will take its place, the sand will take its place in the jar. So also everyone in the society, driven by their own natures, they will take their spaces in society by becoming Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It's so natural. Some people like to use their brains. Some people like to use their bodies. It's based on what they like. Brahmins use their brains a lot. They like to read. They like to teach. That kind of thing. So, but it is, as I said again, the Brahminical qualifications is the purest. That profession is the purest of all other professions. The nature of the Brahmin is superior to all other natures. And even amongst Brahmins, there are so many different shades. There's so many varieties. Not all Brahmins are the same. Yes, like we see Vishwamitra and Vashishta. Vashishta was a Brahmin, but Vishwamitra was a king. He was a Raja. And he performed austerities to become a Brahmin. And he became Raja Rishi. From Raja, he became Raja Rishi. And then from Raja Rishi, he became a Brahma Rishi by performing austerities. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Haridas Thakur as Namacharya, the highest title that could be awarded. That was given to Haridas Thakur, who was not born in a Hindu family, not even a Brahmin, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. He was born in a Muslim family. But Mahaprabhu, he awarded him Namacharya because he manifested those qualities. He was a devotee. He was chanting 192 rounds daily. He was manifesting all the qualities of a devotee. So we can see that the real teachings of the Vedic scriptures, it goes beyond all these castes and cultural barriers. There was no such thing. Only that about 1,000 years back, the degradation started. 2,000 years from back in time, it started, and people started getting designated as, by their surnames and by their castes. But nowhere in the scriptures will you find surnames, like we have today, like Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Sharma, Pandita, and all these surnames you'll never find in the scriptures. You don't find Vashishta, Chaturvedi, or Vishwamitra, Dvivedi, or something like that. We never find it. There was no such thing like that. These were titles given to people. If somebody read the Vedas, they were said, "Are ye to do Veda pad liya, chalo ye Dvivedi." He has read 4 Vedas. He's Chaturvedi. Oh, he's a great scholar. He's a Pandit. So those titles started getting taken on by the family members. अच्छा वो पंडिता फैमिली है वो चतुर्वेदी family. So then the family took on those names. That is all. But actually, the son of the Chaturvedi, the real Chaturvedi, could be an illiterate, but still he's got the surname Chaturvedi. But he may not be a Chaturvedi. It's like this. So that's how, like we have surnames, Pilot, so and so Pilot. We have surnames like Vakil. Why? Because they were Vakils. So someone in the family became Vakil, so then the surname became Vakil. Someone was selling buckets, so then they get the surname Bucketwala. Someone is selling bottle, they get the surname Bottlewala. Selling topis, Topiwala. These are actual names, surnames, right? So that is the thing, basically, that people should be known as belonging to a particular caste based on its qualities, actually. And it is not wrong to say that birth is an indication of a person's having certain qualities, definitely. Because Krishna says that yoginam, kuleshu, that he says that I will give birth in particular families. Athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam tatte durlabhataram loke janmayati trisham. Krishna says it, that uh, being born in a Shuchinam, Shrimatam, Gehe, like being born in a Brahmin family, a Vaishnava family, is a great prerogative. It's a very rare birth. It's a very exalted birth. So then why can't birth be taken as the only criteria for determining a person's caste or profession? It is because the birth signifies what the soul has, what actions or karma the soul has performed in his past. His past has been pure, and therefore he has taken birth in a Brahmin family. But because the soul has his free will, and he can at any time misuse it, and he may get into bad association, he may not have a proper sanskara, and then he may, take up professions other than those of Brahmin. His nature may change. And therefore, you see, birth alone cannot be the criteria. It's one of it. It is an indication, but it is not complete in itself. Isn't it? It is quite possible that a person born in a Brahmin family, he stands a good chance of, taking it further and becoming a good Brahmin, and then rising above that and becoming a devotee. But that's not the ultimate criteria. And moreover, in Kali Yuga, it is said that demons are sometimes born in Brahmin families. In the Shastras, it is said, Rakshasim Kalimashritya Brahma Yonishu Jayate. That Rakshasas, Kalimashritya, in the age of Kali Yuga, Brahma Yonishu, in Brahmin families, Jayate, they are born. So, we never know. Now, why does the Lord do that? Why does the Lord give birth to demons in Brahmin families? Why does he do that? Well, the idea is that the Lord wants to give them also the opportunity of a good birth so that they may become devotees. So that way. And we can see that sometimes they don't use that opportunity, and then they give trouble to devotees. Like Hiranyakashipu, or for that, Gopal Chapal. We hear in every sampradaya. If you see, even in Sri Sampradaya, we hear about this some devotee who was coming down the stairs, and there was some low caste person sitting there, and he wanted him to get off. He says, "Please get off. Can't you see I'm coming?" And then He was unable to move or something. And so he kicked him. He kicked him and he went on his way like that, something like that. But when he reached the pond to take his bath, he became blind. He couldn't see. And then he realized that, oh my Lord, I have committed a great offense because this person is a devotee of yours. I did not recognize him. I was labeled him wrongly. And so then he begged for forgiveness and he carried him on his shoulders and took him to the temple, something like that. And he became reformed. He was forgiven. We see in Madhva Sampradaya, our Sampradaya also, in Udupi Kshetra, you find Kanakadas. I think he was born in a Vaishya family, something like that. He was not a Brahmin. And he came to the temple to take darshan, but he was not allowed. Just like Jagannath Puri, you see even today. I go every year to Jagannath Puri, yes, with UK boys, some white-bodied, some brown-bodied, but having British passports. So they are not allowed, strictly forbidden. So I don't take them. But yes, I do sometimes like, devotees who are having British passports, but Indian roots, they are sometimes allowed inside. Because they look Indian, they have brown skin. So they are not recognized when they get inside. So anyway, in the Udupi temple, Kanakadas was not allowed. And so he went, to the west side of the temple where there is a door, a window, and he was taking darshan. So from the backside, basically, he went to the backside because all the deities are east facing. Yes, the deities faced east. So he went to the backside, he went to the west, and there is a window there, and he was praying to the Lord. And in order to give darshan to Kanakadas, Lord of Udupi Krishna, he turned around and faced towards the western window. And that was a miracle. And even today, you can go and see that that deity is west facing towards that window. And that window was christened after this devotee, Kanakadas, Kanakakindi. I'm sure all of you all know this story. So we can see so many such cases of the Lord personally revealing the glories and setting the right standards for human beings to follow. So what is the mistake that people do, and why do people get confused? And where is the lack of understanding here? What is the principle that they don't understand? So the scriptures say that what people don't understand is that they don't understand the potency of the process of devotional service. The holy name is so powerful that it can purify. Therefore, the Rupa Goswami, he says in that in one verse, he says, "Yatha kanchanatam yati kasyam rasavidhanata tatha diksha vidanena dvijatvam jayate nrinam." So he says that just as an ordinary bell metal can be transformed into gold through an alchemic process, apparently there is a process, a chemical alchemic process by which you can convert bell metal, kansa, kasyam rasavidhanatah, yata kanchanatam yati. That means you can convert bell metal into gold through this process of alchemy. I remember when I was in a temple in Pune temple once, many years ago. So there was one devotee, Brahmacharya, who was a kind of scientifically minded person. So he used to always have some apparatus, in his desk and his drawers and all. Pipes and tubes and a burner and Bunsen burner and some beakers and things like that. So I was fresh out of, engineering and MBA, like, so I used to feel it odd, like, what are you doing with these Bunsen burners and, pipes and bolts and things like that? So and after probing a little bit, he said that, I'm trying to make gold. So I said, really? How's that? Like, yeah, I'm trying to make gold out of bell metal because in the scriptures it is said that it is possible. So I'm trying all these different processes and things like that. So it is a fact, I mean, anybody wants to become famous and rich, they can try out this experiment. If you're scientists and Harvard graduates or whatever, like, you all can apply, if you're chemists or whatever, apply your knowledge in trying to find out how any bell metal, ordinary bell metal, can be converted into gold. I mean, how ridiculous it sounds, is it not? But it is possible. You see, it is possible, and it is mentioned in the scriptures, and we have to accept it as such because that is an authority. If you do not believe that a bell metal can be converted into gold, then you will not believe that a person born in any family can be converted into a Vaishnava, into someone greater than even the Brahmins. So much for it, basically. Therefore it is said, Yata Kanchanatam Yati Kasyam Rasavidhanatah Tatha Diksha Vidhanena Dvijatvam Jayate Naram. So I think, in my opinion, this is where the confusion lies. People can't believe that can there be a process which has that potency to convert ordinary sinful men, not even ordinary actually, most sinful men into the greatest of all human beings. Yes, that process is the process of bhakti. What is that verse in the 5th canto, 1st chapter, 35th verse? It says, Naivam viduf purushakara urukramasya pumsam tadangri rajasa jita shadagunanam. It goes something like that, yeah? If someone has a Veda base, you can open it. Sakradadadita yannamadheyam adhuna sajahati bandhavyas. That's how it goes. So it says that if anyone surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord, chants his names, then he can conquer all his 6 senses, 5 senses along with the mind, and become free from all the 6 pangs of material existence. That means he can become free from sin, he can become free from old age, he can become free from death, he can become free from grief and hunger and thirst, and he can become blissful. There are 8 qualities of the soul. So just by chanting the holy names, he can develop 6 or 8 qualities of the soul by taking shelter of the Lord. So therefore it says that there is so much of potency in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord that it is possible. And Prabhupada has given in this purport about how a devotee's mother or some family member remembered Krishna at the final stage of their life, and I think it is some Western devotee. But I can say regarding the mother of my own guru, Maharaj himself has said this to us, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that because he was born in a Jewish family, naturally his parents were Jewish, and he became a Hare Krishna. And he somehow brought his parents to Mumbai and introduced them to our devotees and brought them here a couple of times. And they were very much touched by the love and affection showered upon them by the disciples of Maharaj. They were very much touched, and they always fondly remembered them. And I think they might have come about 3 or 4 times. I don't know how many times, but Maharaj brought them to Vrindavan, showed them, and took them to even New Vrindavan. And he was saying that the first time that his father came to meet him when he was in New Vrindavan, he was so saddened, so upset, because he saw that he was engaged in deity worship. He was a pujari. And he, with tears in his eyes, he said, "My dear son, did I raise you to play with dolls?" Because they thought the deities were like dolls, and his son is playing with dolls. So that was a conception they had, because naturally Jews and Christians and Muslims, they're against deity worship. They don't like to give a form to the Lord. So, but Maharaj said that his mother, in the final days of her life, she developed dementia, and she lost her memory. She forgot practically everyone. But whenever she saw her son Maharaj, she would just remember 2 words, and she would, with a blissful smile on her face, she would say, "Hey, when I did this, something happened. I don't know what happened. There's some setting on. Please don't take it seriously." Yeah? Some balloons flew off like this. So she forgot everything. But when she saw her son, she had a smile on her face, and she said, "Hare Krishna." She used to say like that. So she forgot everything. Only she remembered Hare Krishna in her final days of her life. So we can see the power of the holy name. And if only people had that faith that the holy name has that power, and people will accept that, yes, people from any walk of life can be uplifted to to the highest rungs of spiritual life. So Hare Krishna, with these simple thoughts, maybe a little unorganized, I'll stop here, and I will ask you people if you all have anything to add to what I have already said. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. I will, yeah. Please go ahead with the questions on devotees. Hare Krishna.
Ishopanishad Mataji.
Jai, Hare Krishna. All glories to your wonderful, wonderful lecture. I had stepped away for a few moments, and when I came back, you were speaking about a family, a mother and a father, and I immediately knew who you were speaking about. Immediately. You shared such a sweet pastime about Radhanath Swami's parents. Thank you so much for reminding us again about the potency of the holy name. Hare Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So who was Would you like to mention it if you know the family? If you know the name?
You're speaking about Maharaja's Radhanath Swami's family, his parents.
Yeah, besides that, do you know anyone else?
No, I just can't think of anyone right off the top of my head right now. But yes, not right now. Before you hang up, maybe I can think of someone or another family. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Sukakara Krishna Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
We can hear.
Hare Krishna. My sound is audible. Voice is coming.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Akinchana Krishna Prabhuji, after a long time. I tried to call you today. I think we're busy in the morning. I wanted to
I was somewhere, but I came back and I saw your missed call. Yeah.
When I saw your name, I said I have to. Now I'm a little busy, not attending. But when your name came, and Samagori Mother also has written, you're not coming, so I was worried. So I'm so happy to see you back.
Kind. You're very kind.
You're such a wonderful speaker. Your kirtan was so good, so much. Prabhu, on the chanting, sometimes the chanting taste goes. Sometimes it is very good. Sometimes we don't know why not able to chant, but able to hear katha and give katha. But chanting somehow it is not blissful. What can be done? The face is going so bad, so I put some Anandana Prabhu's chanting, then I chant with that, somehow to get what has been done.
See, as I said that, or as it is said that all inspiration comes from association of devotees. It cannot come on its own. So if there is someone who really loves to chant, who chants a lot, you can come into their association and take help. I remember the first time when I was coming into Krishna consciousness, and I thought it is an Ekadashi, let me chant 32 rounds for a change. I just got that mild desire that maybe I should try chanting 32 rounds. It was my very initial days of the Krishna consciousness. And I came to the hall, in the Prasadam hall, and I saw one small kid, must be about 10, 12 years old. Then I said, "Aur Chotu, आज एकादशी है, कितना जप कर रहा है तू?" So I was thinking he will be chanting some 8, 9 rounds or something. So he told me, I'm going to chant today's Ekadashi. He said, I'm going to chant 32 rounds. I was surprised. I said, what? This small kid is going to chant 32 rounds. I felt ashamed of it. I thought, what am I doing? And that day, I chanted 108 rounds.
Yeah.
Because my ego, you see, we all have these egos. We want to compete with others. So, okay, that can be used in a proper way. So as they say, removing one thorn by using another thorn. So we have two thorns. One is that ego and one is the laziness. So we use the thorn of ego to take out the thorn of laziness. So when we come in the association of such devotees who have taste for certain aspects of devotional service, then naturally we may tend to think, what am I doing? I can do better. So I feel that we have to be surrounded. If we isolate ourselves, live in our own world, and then that's not going to happen. On our own, it's not going to happen. We have to meet with devotees. For everything, if you want to develop taste, because, see, therefore Krishna says in the Gita that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate. When he says this verse, he's referring to whom? He's referring to Artho, Jigyasu, or Artharthi. He says 4 kinds of people come to me. Artho, Jigyasu, or Artharthi, Gyani. And then later on he says, Mam Ashrit, Jara Marana Mokshaya, Mam Ashritya Yatantiye. So basically, 5 kinds of people come to Krishna. One who is distressed, Artho, Jigyasur, one who is inquisitive, Artharthi, one who wants material desires, one who is a devotee, Jnani, and one who is Jara Marana Mokshaya, one who is coming for Mukti. They come to Krishna. So he says that, okay, but out of these people, the devotee is very dear to me. Why? Because he loves me and I love him back. And then he says, Baunam Janmana Mante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. So he says that rest of the others who will also come to me, but it will take them a couple of lives. So after a couple of lives, Artho, Jigyasur, all these people will come to me and start loving me. How will they do that? By meeting with devotee and serving. Jana Sukritino Arjuna. So there the Acharya and Srila Prabhupada also says Sukritino Arjuna means that when they develop Sukriti, that means when they come into the association of devotees and when they serve the devotees. That's how they come to loving Krishna. That's how they come to serving Krishna. That's how they come to chanting his names. So that is the essence of all. That when we serve devotees and we be in the association of devotees who can do those things.
But we are not able to associate in the morning so early with some devotees because in the night some new projects have come, sleeping late. So try to get up at 3, 4. It's so much drowsy. But if you don't do in the...
But you can do it. You can chant anytime in the day. It's not necessary that you chant only in the morning. You can chant any time in the day.
But Brahma Muhurta is the
No
best.
problem. Okay, you can't do it in the morning. You can chant it anytime. You can chant throughout the day you chant. No issues. Just bring the numbers. Just bring the numbers. First you bring the numbers. Then you can shift it to any point in the day, in the morning, afternoon, evening. The numbers is first. Then quality. Quality comes later on.
Then I found one idea that Gaurang Prabhu, some good lectures, I'm hearing and that with that chanting, so it's going. I know it is wrong. It's not correct.
See, Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrar Pita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has said that for chanting the holy names of the Lord, there is no niyam, there is no kalaha, there is no time. So why do you think that you should only chant in the morning? No, chant in the afternoon, chant in the evening, chant in the night, cover it up. If you miss it one day, you cover it up the next day. You can do 16 in the morning, 16 you can do in the night.
But along with katha, not allowed, no? Along with hearing
Katha
and chanting.
Katha also you listen. But chanting is most important.
Can we do jointly, listening little katha at the time and chanting also?
No. Katha is katha. When you are hearing katha, you should hear katha. How can you focus on 2 things at one time? Unless you are Brahma having 4 heads. Yeah, there is one nice video which they made in Mira Road. I will send it to you maybe in the group. Amazing. Yeah. How you should not chant. How, if you Google it on YouTube, how not to chant. It is so hilarious. It is so hilarious. It's really amazing. How not to chant. Just Google it in YouTube and you will find out.
Please send it to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one question. As you said, if we miss one day, if any emergency, so we can do chanting in next day?
Yeah, why not? Suppose you are sick or something like that, and it is not that you miss it on purpose, but it is a way to cope up. So therefore you can definitely compensate next day. Yeah.
Excellent.
Somebody has raised hand, is it? Okay. Parama
Yeah,
Pavani.
Param Bhavani Shama Mataji.
Okay, please ask the question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for wonderful class and it is pretty inspiring. Prabhuji, I remember one thing that His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj's one vlog that I was seeing. His mother was inquiring about Krishna and wanted to go to Vrindavan during her last days. I shared the link from the Back to Godhead magazine, like here in the chat box. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I also heard that story. Maharaj's mother wanted to come to Vrindavan, leave her body there. Yeah. That is an example again. Miracle, actually, isn't it? It seems like a miracle. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much, Prabhuji. If nobody have any questions, we can go ahead.
Maybe Shopanishad Mataji.
Yeah.
What you have to say?
Jai Prabhu, I just wanted to say thank you for posting that in the chat. Hare Krishna. Thank you again. Haribo. Enjoy Yuma Swami's mother association. Thank you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Vanchakalpatarupekcha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai
Radhe
ho.
Gauranga.
Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Nityananda. Gauranga. Gauranga. Nityananda. जय जय श्री राधे श्याम सबको मिले वृंदावन धाम बहुत की जय हो महाप्रभु धाम की जय हो जगन्नाथ धाम की जय हो
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू विनीता माता जी थैंक यू ललिता माता जी थैंक यू धन्यवाद
Hare Krishna.